What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Tottenham 5, Mura 1. But, you know, it was actually hard work for the majority of the game. Tottenham really not doing much.
Well, the first 10 minutes was all right.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes was great, but after that,
I call it hard work. They had a period.
I think it was easy.
Yeah, I think it was easy.
I was saying hard work in terms of not doing anything in the game, and like it looked like just an average game, hard to watch, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Hard work to watch. That definitely was true. Yeah,
hard game to watch because after 7 minutes, we played well for those 7 minutes, getting two goals. But after that, up until the substitutions, it was nothing in that game whatsoever.
Yeah.
They actually looked like the worst team I've actually probably maybe even ever seen.
Yeah,
and yet they actually came back into it second half, the first 10 minutes or so, didn't they?
Yeah, before we brought the big guns on.
And their goal actually was actually outstanding. Volley from the edge of the area.
Yeah, but it's almost as if we got those two.
He looked surprised when he scored.
He
didn't even know how to celebrate when he scored.
But we got 2 goals in the opening 7 minutes of the
Yeah.
game. We're 2-0 up after 7 minutes, and we thought it was going to be, what we were thinking, how many goals we're going to get in this game. Dele got a penalty. Lo Celso scored a nice goal. But we just took our foot off the gas. We just didn't. We decided like it was 2-0. We're just gonna see out the game. It looked like at the time, but like we didn't stop like going forward more. We weren't creative. There wasn't much movement. And you know what? Considering because we still had a bit of talent on the pitch. Hill was there. You had Dele there. Scarlett was obviously looking to make an impression, but unfortunately. We were 2-0 up, and I don't know whether it was lack of quality or lack of structure or maybe the players' mentality, but we just didn't do anything until Son, Kane and Lucas came on after an hour, and we literally we barely had a shot even, and that was quite concerning, I would say, because even with the changes, you still expect Nuno to have these players in a position where they should be creating a lot of chances against the opposition, it doesn't matter who we have on the pitch.
Shows how reliant we are on them, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. I mean, and it did make a huge difference. Like within the first 30 seconds of them coming on, you could see the difference. You know, and there was like a through ball that nearly went through. The pace of Son, the build-up play. Kane obviously got his goal. He took the goals really well. And you'd have to say that you actually predicted 4-0, didn't you?
Yeah.
And in the end, it was pretty. And you actually said Kane would come on and
score. I said score too. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a training exercise for the first half, and then second half. It went a little bit slower. They came into it a little bit more. Then the substitutes were made. Were you happy with were you glad they made the substitutions
not
or not?
Really. I mean, first 10 minutes of the second half, I thought we were absolutely shocking, and Mura actually really grew into that game in the first 10 minutes of the second half. We make those subs, but I didn't think we needed to bring on Son, Kane and Moura. Maybe 2 of the 3 or 1 of the 3 I thought would have done the job. And I thought we probably would have done the job anyway if none of them would have come on. But I think that, maybe bring one of them on. I would have kept Dane Scarlett on for the 90. But Giovanni Lo Celso, let's talk about him, because I thought he really grew into the game after those subs came on. How many assists did he get today?
2 assists and a goal in the end.
So 2 assists and a goal. Yeah, he scored in the first 7 minutes, but he didn't really strut his stuff until those
Once he
players
went
came
centrally.
on.
Once he went centrally, he really became alive. He started playing through balls. He set the tone. I think a minute after Son came on, he played him through on goal, and they created openings. And I thought he did come alive in the central areas. Got 2 really good assists as well. Nearly got another one for Reguilon as well. Little dink over the back four, which Reguilon nearly got in the end of. So very good from Lo Celso, and maybe that earns him a start on Sunday. But with Ndombele not getting any minutes, I'm not sure whether that tells me he's thinking about Ndombele for Sunday already. Anyway.
Do you think like that? Because I tend not to think that if a player plays well against a real Farmers team that they deserve a shot at the weekend, because we've seen that time and time again where you have a player like Harry Winks who'd be absolutely BS in the Premier League.
But I know where I disagree.
Where I disagree
is we need. But Lo Celso could be very valuable to our team. Is my point. Bringing Winks doesn't add anything to the team. That's not really there.
But my point is,
Lo Celso does.
I'm just saying you've got to be careful judging.
Yeah, but he had a good game today, and I want to see him. I think a good Lo Celso could be very valuable to us.
Yeah, but this today is no measure of anything.
This is not a litmus test.
No, it's not. But I still think Lo Celso could be used centrally in our midfield, and him playing well today, it doesn't count against him just because it was a bad.
No, but it doesn't count for him either.
It doesn't put him straight in either.
How can it not count for him?
Because they're absolutely
standard League One side.
So what's the point of playing then?
Because you have to earn your way in slowly. Do you know what I mean? You don't come straight back into the side in place of Ndombele just because you beat.
Yeah, but seeing how we played on Sunday, right? Okay, maybe not in place of Ndombele, but I want to see him. Like, he didn't play any minutes on Sunday. I want to see him more involved.
It'd be good to see him get some minutes. I agree. You know?
Or even I wouldn't mind him starting. I wouldn't mind him starting.
Really? Look, I wouldn't mind him starting against Aston Villa this weekend. But at the end of the day, you can't tell anything from these performances. You can't.
I'm not saying that, but when there's one thing that about
because even Winks played well.
Yeah.
Are we putting him in?
No, I don't want to put him in. But that's because we've got Skip and Højbjerg. That position for Lo Celso could be up for grabs. I know Ndombele is playing well, but Lo Celso Lo Celso could easily take that position.
I would like to see, if he.
I don't want to see him play on the right. I want to see him play centrally. That's his position. He's a lot more comfortable there. I think he gives a lot more better performances in the central midfield. So I think Lo Celso, not based on tonight. I want to see him. I want to see him because I think he's a very good player.
I get. Because I think Lo Celso, he's shown in the past in a Tottenham shirt that he can do it. He really has. But it's been off the boil now for a while for Lo Celso. So I want to see him perform in a better game than this. I want to see him play against Villa, maybe come on with half an hour to go and impact the game and change the game like we know he can. Because back then, when Jose was here, I think it was just before lockdown, before all the football stopped, he was our best player, hands down. He was controlling games on his own. He was doing stuff on his own.
He was unbelievable then.
So I want to see him get back to that.
Yeah, we all do, don't we?
Exactly.
It's just a shame. It's just, I don't know, every time he starts to come back into it, he gets injured and he's out for a few months.
Goes international break.
And it just feels as though it's just going to be a Lamela 2.0. And I really hope, I'm praying it's not. Because we can all see there's a player there. If he actually starts to step up and actually become that player, then that's just going to be, he could actually drive this whole team forwards. But it's just his little bit part, his little cameos every now and then. It's just not good enough, is it? It's just like, he's been here,
for a player we've signed for 55 million, we forget.
Hill and Scarlett both started the game, only lasted an hour. What do we make out of their performances in tonight?
I think Hill was very underwhelming tonight. Very underwhelming. I thought a majority of the time he got the ball was bouncing off him. Not many good link-up play from him. He wasn't really finding the pockets like he usually does. I don't know what was wrong with Hill.
I thought Hill was all right.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I do.
I wasn't impressed with him today.
No, he didn't. He wasn't creating so much in the final third, but he was still, I could see he was coming back to try and make 1-2s. He was always his energy was good in that first half, And sometimes you do need a little bit of luck as well, to find the little openings and to pick the pass.
Not against these lot.
Well, sometimes you might not be the one that is in the position to play the pass, whereas another player might have been in the right position.
Yeah, but
I think Hill was all right. I don't think he was dreadful.
If you're playing well and you're a player of Brian Hill's quality and you've got his assets and everything he brings to the game, you'll see him stand out a lot more than he did today, because he didn't stand. It was a poor game from him today. By his standards.
Yeah, I think his passing.
By his high standards, I would say. But I would still like to see him play at the weekend.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
his passing.
I would still like to see him play.
Passing was off it. His dribbling on the left-hand side didn't get too many opportunities to whipping balls or get shots off or anything like that. I would like to have seen him more really affecting the game in the final third than he really was, unfortunately for me, today. That was a shame. And same goes to Dane Scarlett. Big opportunity for him, 17-year-old starting for Tottenham Hotspur, and he seems still like a boy amongst men, really. I think physically, as much as technically, I'm sure he's a brilliant player. We just he hasn't been able to show that off yet in the Spurs shirt. But that's just because physically he's not there yet.
That's the thing with Dane. That's why I would like to see him stay on for 90 minutes, because when you come off after with half an hour to go, then maybe the game hasn't opened up enough, and you won't see that kind of technical ability. But if he stayed on for 90 minutes with other players coming on around him,
I know that's what
that's the thing.
Shown his technical ability.
When he's in a front three of Scarlett, Hill, and Lo Celso, that front three, they can put a lot of effort into just stopping Scarlett, because they don't need to take too many players out for the other two, for Hill and Lo Celso, because they're not senior players. But when you got Son and Kane or Lucas around him, then you'll see space open up for Scarlett, and then he probably would have got a goal.
Yeah, if Son and Lucas came on and Scarlett was left on the pitch, he might have popped up with a goal today, and it would have been the perfect game for him to get his tally underway.
I still think him up front on his own right now. I'm not so sure about it. I think physically, I'm not sure.
He looks a little bit too.
He might need a partner.
He looks a little bit too distant up there. I think it would have been better for him. And I said this after the first half, didn't I? Come back a little bit deeper, just to feel like you're engaged a little bit more with the build-up play, just a little bit, and then you can kind of spring, all together, move up. If you know what I mean. He seemed to sort of wait a little bit too much for the ball, didn't he? And he was just sort of cut a lonely figure up there.
And obviously, look, we won 5-1 in the end, so I don't want to sound all doom and gloom, but like, was it concerning how much we did struggle before Kane, Son, and
and Dele? Do you want to talk about Dele as well?
Well, look, Dele got the penalty and he scored, but it didn't do much.
Didn't really do much after
got hauled
that,
off after an hour.
I thought Dele a lot in the first half was kind of doing a lot of flicks and not really going anywhere.
Exactly.
I mean, he was getting very involved in the game. He had a lot of touches on the ball, but just didn't do much.
I actually think that's partly the reason why it looked as though Hill wasn't that effective in that first half, because he was trying to link up with Dele, and Dele wasn't quite on the same wavelength as him in terms of the 1-2s and the running off the ball, and he was slowing it down. His little flicks weren't working.
Even the penalty he got, I actually think Dele could have just slotted it home, and he tried a little.
He tried some
flick,
and
then he lucky. He actually got lucky to get the penalty,
didn't he?
Yeah, he got lucky to get that penalty. So actually, you know, if he didn't get the penalty, we're all probably complaining about what's he doing with that flick. Why not just put it in the back of the net? So that was annoying. But look, putting that aside and putting individual performances aside, and saying, looking at the manager,
finding Nuno,
you know, just after you're reading comments from sources inside the dressing room saying, you know, there are no patterns of play and stuff like that. And, you know, based on tonight, it didn't seem that there are.
There's no patterns of play today. Like we said, first 7 minutes, we got 2 goals, one from a penalty, one with a nice breakaway, Lo Celso finishing it off. But apart from that, what did we do in that first half? In that first half, after 7 minutes, up until the end of that first half, what did we do?
Watch their goal go
Yeah,
in.
that's it. And it was like the game was won already. We're just playing it around. No urgency to get another goal, no movement to try and open up space or anything like that. It was like we were too good to be at this level, it felt like.
That's what it feels like every bloody Conference League and Europa League group stage game. That's what it
feels like. And
this is what you got to expect by these kind of level of opposition. It's never going to be like.
No, but I think the players like Scarlett and Hill, they're like desperate to impress, I think. So I don't think they would have had that attitude. So then it comes down to.
But it's hard when you're the only ones, though.
I know, but I think even like the likes of Skip, Winks was looking to impress. Skip was trying hard. Like I think quite clearly it was structural in a way, how our lack of build-up play, and that's concerning because against Mura, even if we had the lineup we had out today, we should be the team should be functioning in a way that they can create a lot more chances than they did tonight. And with the fact we had to rely on individual brilliance from Kane, Son, and Lucas to come on and change it, rather than relying on the structure of the team to be better than the opposition with that level of opposition. That was a bit concerning to me. Look, we did end up winning 5-1. Nuno obviously had run on Kane coming on and score a hat-trick, but
it's embarrassing that we need to rely on Kane and Son and Moura to come on against this level of opposition. It's embarrassing. These lot were no better than a League 1 or League 2 opposition.
Oh, even worse, I would say.
I would say worse. Yeah.
I would say worse.
Literally.
A League 2 side could probably finish mid-table or whatever.
And can I just say, Doherty still looked dreadful against this lot.
He did.
He looked dreadful.
There was nearly scored from a corner today.
There was a moment where he even just passed it backwards in a non-threatening area and he gave the ball away. That was passing backwards.
Yeah.
I know people will watch this thinking you're on 5-1, you're doing your whole complaining. But at the end of the day, it's just
objectively each
we're
player.
Trying to be objective. We're trying to be objective in what we see. And the fact of the matter is, Mura just got back in the game before Kane. It was 2-1. They were growing.
I think we
in the
still
game.
would have won that.
We probably still would have won, but it wouldn't have been 5-1. Not 5-1.
We'd have won it 2-1.
If you didn't know who both of these teams were, right, and you watched it from the beginning of the second half for those first 10 minutes, you wouldn't know who the Premier League team was.
Yeah, for those first 5 minutes. But every team's going to have a spell for 5 minutes, aren't they, during a game?
You should know. That level of opposition, they shouldn't be having any spell. Honestly, they really shouldn't. Especially when you're 2-0 up and you're in control. You shouldn't let them back in the game whatsoever.
They're going to have a little couple of passes strung together, aren't they?
Yeah, but you shouldn't let them back in the game. That's how.
Yeah, but they're just showing the goal here. I mean, it was like a kind of the ball comes down with snow on it.
Look, the goal was an incredible goal.
Incredible goal.
But that was a sign they then came back in the game before that. We noticed that they'd grown in confidence in the game.
And that's why he made the sub so quickly.
Yeah, that's why you can see it happening.
But you know what's frustrating is like Nuno. It was a bit of in-game management from Nuno, you could say, right?
Yeah, which
we want to see this at the weekend.
Yeah.
We want to see him making dramatic changes when it's not going right. When you're 2-0 down, make those changes. Bring on the double substitution. He doesn't do that quick enough in these games, but he did it today for some reason.
You know why? It's because those players are starting and we don't have anyone on the bench that can come on and change things.
Or he trusts to come on and change it.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's maybe what it is as well. He doesn't trust the secondary players, the fringe players.
And you can see why, because you saw how they played today.
Exactly. He started.
And when they come on, they don't do anything either.
But there are, but that has been a question mark over him, hasn't it? His in-game management and the ability to change things up when you're 2-0 down.
It seems as like he doesn't have a plan B ever. But look, that is our instant match reaction, guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching today. We'll be back with a post-match fan show very soon. So thank you, everyone, for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.